guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our YouTube race account, and guys, it is not looking very good. We're in 27-26. We've been stuck here for a considerable amount of time. We do not have the crowd control to actually lock down this team. Went through a bunch of different heroes, even went through Nara, went through Pharrell. We got Nara built up a little bit. We need more copies. We haven't gotten lucky with copies of Nara really at all. Even do have a little bit of food. So if we get lucky with the summons right now, we need crowd control, guys. Josie absolutely just rocketed through this thing. Even looking here, guys, 28-32 with Pharrell. We have Oden built. We have Damon built. We went with Grez, and I don't think that Josie went with Grez. But we have Grez built, and then of course they have Thorin, which I don't have Thorin either. He is very unique because you do have to kill him twice, and then Brutus as well. Even looking at some of the winning formations that Josie has been using, they have Nara at Mythic Plus, Pharrell at Mythic Plus, Thorin, which of course did 0 damage in there, but did take quite a bit of damage. And then running Damon, which is almost 20 million damage right there. Almost 2 million healing, which is the reason why so many players run Damon. So I feel like this is the avenue that I'm missing, guys. It is really the Pharrell and Nara combination that I'm missing from my formations to really continue through here. So I'm hoping with the summons and with the stones that we have that we can get lucky. I want one single copy of Pharrell. If we do pull a copy, we're going to swap him with Brutus. It is going to be a lower level Brutus, but we'll have Pharrell in there for the crowd control. So let's go ahead. We'll do the summons here, guys. 3 in total, which gives us, this is what has been happening, guys. Copies of Respin, I don't need at all. Almost, I don't need. Even Mauler food, I don't need. I have not gotten anyone that I really need. I just got my very first second Elite Plus copy, which was Rose. I'm not sure if I'm going to take Rose up a little bit higher, but you can see we do have Belinda, and we do also have Rowan in there, and we have food. We have 3 sets of Legendary Plus food. Within the Lightbearers, we haven't been lucky enough to pull any copies of Lightbearers, such as Rowan, that I feel would really be beneficial. Now, we've been doing all of our summons every single time. We've been using all of our companion points. We've been using every one of our scrolls to really get to make some progression. Right there we have Damon. We have 5 common scrolls. I have 10 to use on my Graveborn, so I'm hoping for some elites in here. But again, guys, we haven't seen a decent summon or even a decent pull in a considerable amount of time. It's been single pulls. It's been every 3. Even when it comes to Graveborn, we haven't seen very many pulls on there. Which this one we got an elite, and it is a copy of Oden. So not too bad. We are building Oden, but again, that really doesn't help when it comes to the crowd control aspect, trying to keep these heroes alive. We used our cards for Frampton, didn't get anything. Used our temple emblems, didn't get anything out of there. So unfortunately, it just looks like we're back to another copy of Naru, which just goes right in the bucket. So even after these summons, didn't pick up any copies of Pharrell, didn't pick up any copies of Nara, as well as getting a couple more copies of Oden would have been nice. But you can see, guys, I built out Grez. I feel like this was the really big mistake, but I got so many copies of him very early that we did build him up when I should have been focusing a lot more on Damon and really maxing him out. Also with Silas, I'm pretty disappointed with how Silas is performing. Keeping heroes alive, it seems like early game really doesn't do much of anything. He just absolutely gets decimated every single time I use him. Again, it seems like the crowd control aspect is a lot stronger than I am seeing with the ability for him to keep the team alive. We just actually hit right now the plus 30 signature item with Oden. I feel like instead of running the short game, we've played a little bit of the longer game, more focusing on the meta heroes that we've been building out instead of just the carry race to 31. I've also thought about just taking Rose all the way to Mythic Plus and then possibly doing the swap is what I'm thinking, is doing the swap there with Pharrell. I know it's going to hurt the Lightbearer Tower overall, but that would allow us to keep Brutus. So I'm thinking, I know that we'll get rid of Rose and we'll have to build up a couple more copies of Rose, but I feel like that would be a pretty strong swap. Again, the Lightbearer Tower, it might suffer, which is the exact same if we swap this one out with Raku. I actually just picked up a copy of Iran, but if we do swap Raku for Pharrell, I feel like it would be there as well with the heroes that we're looking for. Haven't got lucky with Leica, haven't got lucky. A Star was actually my very first, one of my very first heroes that I got up to Legendary. And she unfortunately has been sitting the entire time since, which again is kind of crazy. But I'm really thinking of just swapping Rose. I mean, short of the tower, I've been running Rose Belinda, has been kind of the carry that I've used within the tower. Definitely not going to work in the campaign, but I could get Rose up to that Mythic Plus level and then swap Rose over to the Graveborn or swap that Rose to Pharrell to allow us to go that way. Which, you know what, guys, we don't have that much time left on this account. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I know we talked about doing Brutus, but at that point I didn't have Rose. We have food that is sitting here and we are racing up to and trying to get to that advanced level. So there is Mythic Plus, guys. So I'm going to use the swap scroll. This is actually the second swap scroll that I have ever used. I mean, literally ever used. So I'm going to go with Rose. And again, I do not recommend doing this at all, but I'm going to swap it for Pharrell. I want the crowd control that he is bringing in there. So you can kind of view what the swap is going to look like. Mythic Plus is going to go to Elite. So preview, that will take our Pharrell to Mythic Plus, which is exactly where we want him to be. But that will also leave Brutus at Mythic Plus. We need 2 more copies to get him up to Ascended. So I feel like this is a good swap. It might be make it or break it at this time, guys. If we cannot pull any of our distance with our Mythic Plus Pharrell, I feel like it is going to be really tough. So there it is, guys. Doesn't have signature items. So we do have a copy of Pharrell now. And I also have gear. Guys, we have a lot of gear for him. Again, I've never had a hero that I could actually run that was pretty strong when it came to the crowd control and also when it came to building them out. So there is the plus 10 signature item. We've been saving this up to build out Pharrell. And I'm loving it. I really feel like he is going to be super strong in here to go ahead and build. We have Nara, we have Pharrell. We even have Pharrell built up a little bit. He's got some furniture in there. We can throw on Dura's Eye on there and swapping him into the Resonating Crystal. Or we could actually level him up instead of Raku. Either way, he's going to be at 200. We need to build up a couple more heroes, guys. But I feel like Pharrell could be the game changer that we've really been looking for within here to continue progression. Because I feel like it's the hero that we've been looking for. The carry. Got tier 1 there, tier 1 there. Even here, guys, we can strengthen this up, get a little bit more attack, a little bit more dodge. The faction gear, I haven't had, again, very much luck at all. You can see even the gear here. We haven't been acquiring even enough gear to take him up to add stars onto the gear. I do have quite a bit of gold. I've been picking it up out of running the tower, which is where it's come from. But I'm hoping this is going to be the one that we need. So Odin is built up a little bit. Again, I feel like Silas, we could have probably done a swap with Silas and it could have worked out pretty well. But I'm just hoping here with the survivability, the dodge factor that he brings, because that's normally what would happen. You've seen it right there, guys, is Pharrell would come out, wouldn't even get a fear off, dead. And that's what has been happening. I feel like maybe once we pass this one campaign stage, it's going to kind of make a difference. I'm hoping, because we have been getting absolutely crushed here. And even building Grez, guys, if you watch Grez, early game, he literally takes one shot. He's at 3 stars. He's built up quite a bit, but it literally takes one single shot and he goes down. I don't even have a chance. A Strill that just hits Pharrell and Pharrell just dies. So again, we're going to have to figure out a way for this to work, whether it's running a hero up front, whether it's putting a little bit more support in here. I think I have to swap all my gear. I was running Lightbearer towers. That's why actually all of these are built in here, which could be the reason why we're actually dying out so fast. Because we've been swapping a ton of gear, guys, back and forth, back and forth. So there's Pharrell. We have Nara built up in here as well. But we also, swapping out Nara, we've been dropping in Brutus as well. So Brutus has actually been the hero that we're swapping back and forth. So now we're all geared up. We got all of our artifacts there. And again, so just kind of getting run over here. I feel like some of this RNG is going to have to work sooner or later, guys. And Damon, even with the fear there, Pharrell is really tough to deal with. That is why we've been swapping between Pharrell and between Nara, kind of going between those two, because Nara can actually pick up the enemy Pharrell. So even if we drop in out this maximum, you know, decked out Oden that we're kind of building, don't have much gear there, but we actually have the gear on Grez. Again, I feel like Grez I am super disappointed by. I will not even lie. I've been super disappointed. I'm not sure if the dodge is going to make a difference up front. Sometimes you can run them up front and it'll work. Other times it's just like that, guys. Estrilda is hitting Nara, so Nara is not even grabbing Grez, which is the same problem that we had earlier. We're going to have to figure out something to go with the crowd control. Because again, this stage, guys, we've been stuck at. I can't even tell you, honestly, how many times we've run this stage. It has to be a ton, an absolute ton of attempts that we've run at this stage. And I feel like once we get past this one, we're going to make a lot of progression in here. We could even swap Damon up front, which is what a lot of people do. Again, keeping some of the crowd control, trying to lock down some of these targets. And hopefully with Pharrell, again, getting some of the crowd control off. We're going to have to figure this one out, guys. It's going to have to work. Again, this is one that we've actually been stuck at. I've went through running Silas. I've went through running Grez. Even went through a couple of our Merc heroes. Had kind of the same problem. Guys, Estrilda is just killing out our entire team. As soon as we enter battle, it's pretty much over. There's no dodge. There's no stopping the crowd control, even to get Damon's blood shield off. Because remember, guys, the fear there doesn't even cast the blood shield. So this one, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. Some of the other aspects, though, we have been pushing the King's Tower. We're almost at 100 for all of the towers, maybe a little bit more within the Lightbearer. And then the main tower, Arcane Labyrinth, we've been cleaning this thing out the whole entire time. All the voyages are done. Even when it comes to the Temporal Rift, we've been pushing. Even the Abyssal Expedition, guys, we just hit Duke, so we're almost there. We just need a little bit more to actually hit Prince. A little bit more pushing out of there to make some more progression and try to catch up to Josie. Again, Josie's absolutely destroying it, guys. FHG subscriber doing awesome as well. Of course, got Mishka out there, which he's running Grez as well. I'm not sure if he's actually running them within formations or within combinations, but see, not running Grez. Guys, this is what we're normally seeing. And I built up Iran for the simple fact I've seen this formation a lot. Pulling in Iran to actually slow them down a little bit. So I could actually try this formation within the combinations that we have, because again, we need something to work in here. We know Nara isn't pulling it. We'll see, because we got Iran up a little bit. We can swap Pharrell right there, and then they're dropping Leica in here. This is the other formation that we've been kind of swapping back and forth, but completely out of gear at this time. But if we can pull these targets in just like that, guys, we got the blood shield up, which was a really big start that we normally don't get. So if we can get some of that immunity damage on Brutus, allow Damon to actually live a little bit, so have a little bit of survival in there, we could probably get this one down. Again, if we can get some of the crowd control. Because Pharrell is dying literally the second that he walks out. He is just getting destroyed. So we're not getting the fear. We're not getting the crowd control out of there, which is really tough. Even swapping in Oden, I think it's going to do pretty much the same. But we'll definitely try to get this one down, guys. This is my goal for tonight, is to get this one down. Again, I've went through pretty much every formation that I have in every comp that I've run. I've even used Mishka in here a couple times. I've used Rowan in here a couple times, trying to get the team to work, trying to get the survivability in here, trying to get this team to work, guys. All right, so that's kind of the update that we have that's going on right now. YouTube race, definitely getting there. Josie, again, absolutely killing it, guys. We were just about tied here, and then he just went through like an entire chapter today, which I know he's still making, I believe, more progression right now. 28-32, so definitely making a ton of progression in here, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of this stage, guys. There's some, it seems like the sub stages are a lot more difficult than kind of the boss stages is where I'm getting stuck at. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.